Hello dear learners, welcome back to the next lecture. Today we are going to see certain numericals on the earlier topic which we have learned, that is the Clapeyron's three moment theorem or Clapeyron's theorem for three moments. In this case today we are going to consider a continuous beam with two spans imposed with the UDL throughout the spans. So let us take a look at the problem. Here we are having a beam ABC which is having the span length is equal to L1 is equal to 8 and L2 is equal to 8. Both the spans are being imposed with the UDL having a magnitude 40 kilonewton per meter on both the spans, whereas the I is taken as a constant. Now moving ahead, you can see here we know the first job which is to be performed in this particular sort of the problem is to draw the free bending moment diagram. Now after understanding the basics of this particular continuous beam or simple beams, we know that at the supports the bending moment has to be equal to 0. So here you can see at A it has to be equal to 0, MA is equal to 0 and MC is equal to 0. Here at B, MB is not equal to 0 because it is coming under a partial fixity, or it is in between the simple support. This is forming a continuous support. Is it okay? So MA is equal to 0 and MC is equal to 0, but not MB is equal to 0. That means in this total problem we are interested in finding out the value of this particular point B parameters, that is reaction at B and the moment at this particular point B. Now in this free bending moment diagram you can see I have drawn the free bending moment diagram by taking the standard case of a UDL imposed on the beam. So in that case what we have, the free bending moment is equal to WL square by 8. Putting the values, we are getting the value of this bending moment is equal to 320 kilonewton meter. Moving ahead, now the very first job which we have to perform for the analysis of the continuous beam after finishing with the prior work is to apply the three moment theorem to this particular span AB and BC in combined. That means whenever we are going to apply a three moment theorem, it has to be applied on two consecutive spans. So here AB and BC, on this total spans we are going to apply this particular theorem, and we know according to equation number 4, which is the governing equation of a Clapeyron's three moment theorem, which says that MA L1 plus MB L1 plus L2 plus MC L2 is equal to 6A1 X1 divided by L1 plus 6A2 X2 by L2. Here MA is the moment at A, MB is moment at B and MC is the moment at C, and no need to say L1 and L2 are the spans of the two consecutive span. Now here as far as the right hand side part is concerned, here the value of A1 X1 is to be found out. A1 is nothing but it is the area of free bending moment for the first span, whereas A2 is the area of free bending moment for the second span. And the X1 X2 values here, as I have told you earlier also, in this particular problem whatever free bending moment diagram we are having, it is symmetrical. So whether you calculate this x1 from this end or this end, it is not going to matter a lot because it is obviously going to be equal to L by 2. Is it okay? Now moving ahead, we'll work out the values one by one. A1 is the area of free bending moment for the first span, and this free bending moment diagram is a parabola, and we know what is the area of parabola, 2 by 3 base into height. Putting the values, you are going to get a value of area, that is 1706.66, which has to be equal to A2. Why it is so? Because the loading is same as well as the span is also same. So here we conclude first A1 is equal to A2 is equal to 1706.66. Now as far as the x1 value is concerned, earlier I told you this being a symmetrical figure, so x1 will be L by 2. So putting the value of L1 is equal to 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. Now all this A1 x1 value and A2 x2 values are to be substituted in the Clapeyron's theorem, as far as this left hand side part is concerned, as I have told you earlier, MA has to be equal to 0 and MC also has to be equal to 0. Due to the partial fixicity, there will be the occurrence of MB. So that we are interested in finding out. So putting all these values in the equation number 4 earlier, which we have mentioned, equation number 4, and simplifying that, we are getting 16 MB is equal to 5120 plus 5120. Therefore, we get MB is equal to 320 kilonewton meter. So, this is how we are going to work out the value of the unknowns one by one. So here, first thing which we have learned here is, whenever there will be extreme end support, which is simple support, at that time its moment or its free bending moment should be equal to 0. So here there are two extreme ends which are simply supported, A and C, so their bending moment at that point has to be equal to 0. Second thing which we have to conclude from this free bending moment diagram, that we have to work out the value of A1, A2, X1 and X2. Fortunately in this case the loading as well as the spans are same, so value of A1 is equal to A2 and X1 is equal to X2. So by putting all these values in this basic equation of Clapeyron's theorem, we get a value of MB is equal to 320 kilonewton meter. Now moving ahead, second job. So let us see now how the reactions are to be found out. For that particular case, what I am going to do is, I am going to consider only first span from A to B. So here you can see span A, B is being shown, and whatever we have known to us, every parameter is being shown. So what we know is, and what we don't know, all these are being shown here. MA already equal to 0, MB already we have found out equal to 320, length is 8, RA and RB. We are interested in finding out RA and RB out of this particular step. So what I did is, I am going to take a moment about point B. So while taking a moment about point B, MA minus MA plus RB into 8 minus 40 into 8 into 4 plus 320, that is MB, is equal to 0. So after simplifying these equations, in this equation I have taken the moment of all the forces present in this case and equated with 0. Therefore we are getting RA equal to 120 kilonewton. Similarly, we can do the same for the another part of the beam, that is beam BC. We can draw the free body diagram of span BC and we can take a moment about point C, so about point B, sorry, and we can work out the value of RC. So here RC we are getting with equal to 120 kilonewton. Now after finding out the extreme support reaction RA and RC, still one unknown is remaining, that is RB. Now already MA, MB and MC are worked out. We know RA as well as RC for the C point. Now only remaining is RB. So only simple thing which we can do in this case is to apply another boundary condition of equilibrium, that is sigma Fy is equal to 0. So here RA plus RB plus RC minus 40 into 8 is equal to 0. So here you can observe, here there is only one unknown remaining, otherwise RA is equal to 120 and RC is equal to 120 already found out. So we can find out a value of RB is equal to 400 kilonewton. It's kilonewton. So this is how we have worked out the value of RA, RB and RC, and also we have worked out the moment occurring at point B. So whatever unknowns were present in this are been already found out. Now the next important job is to construct the various diagrams which are important for the understanding or thorough completion of this problem. So here we are going to calculate the shear force and the bending moment, and we are going to draw the diagram, shear force diagram and the bending moment diagram. And after getting that, already we have drawn the free bending moment diagram. All these are to be compiled together, and how it is to be compiled, that we'll see one by one. So here the next figure number 4 is the shear force diagram. So here we can see by the normal calculation which we usually do for finding out the shear force, that I did, and these are the ordinates of the shear force. Next, I have drawn already the free bending moment diagram in the first initial stage of this particular problem. So that again we are going to take it, and then we are going to draw the fixed moment diagram or fixed bending moment diagram. Is it okay? So after finishing with all these three, I know we are interested in finding out the resultant momentum. Moment, not momentum, it's more moment. So in order to find out a resultant moment, I will be superimposing both these bending moment diagram one above the other. So this is how we are going to superimpose both the diagrams. And in earlier lectures also I have told you that this line is going to act as a neutral axis now. The what values on this particular line here and on this inclined line, the value of bending moment will be equal to 0. Below that are negative and above that line are going to be the positive. So this is how we are going to superimpose both the diagrams. Now here you can see I have simply worked out the resultant bending moment at this particular point. So that is nothing but it is the bending moment at this point and difference between the bending moment at this point and at this particular point. So ultimately if this is what is 320, so exactly at half it will be equal to 160, and already here it is equal to what, 320. So 320 minus 160 is equal to 160. So this is how we have to work out the values of resultant bending moment. So this is how we have to complete the total solution. So each and every step followed in this particular analysis of this continuous beam are very much mandatory. After following all these many steps up to this particular superimposition of the free body diagram or superimposition of bending moment diagram, we can say I can find out the resultant moment on that particular, and that resultant moments are usually taken for the further analysis and the design of that particular component. So this is how the analysis of the continuous beam is to be done when it is simply supported along with the UDL imposed throughout the length. And one more part we can do into this, if you remember, our equation number 4b was related with such sort of a problem in which both the spans were imposed with the UDL. So in that case, if you remember, if you follow equation number 4b, you will be understanding, instead of going through all these various step by steps one by one, you can directly use that formulas directly, and putting the values you will be able to get the various parameters required in this particular problem. So this is how we have to analyze the continuous beam which are simply supported. So this is what we have for today. In the